Okay guys, this is a video that I'm doing on various sutures that we use to stitch wounds up after surgery. So first of all, let me tell you that there are 4 manufacturers that make sutures. Number 1, Epicon. Number 2, Comfort. Number 3, Demetec. And number 4, B Brown. All these 4 manufacturers make many types of sutures, and the sutures themselves have many variants and sizes, and they are also classified on the type of the needle that's attached with the thread and the material and the diameter of the thread. So let's go over to sizes and different types of sutures of the manufacturer Epicon. Okay guys, here I've presented all the material that's manufactured by Epicon. Epicon makes many varieties of sutures. The first one is called Prolene. This is a suture that is not absorbed once the surgical incision has been properly opposed, and it has to be removed. The second variety is called Vicryl. It's an absorbable suture and it's dissolved after the surgery is over. This is a third variety known as Mersilk, and then we have yet another variety known as chromic Catgut. And then here we have the polypropylene mesh, which Epicon makes, and this is used in surgeries of hernia to repair the abdominal, the cavity of the wall. Now, there are some other material. There's some other material that Epicon manufactures that I'm not able to show in the video, and that's the nylon tape. That's used in ophthalmic surgeries. It's also called nylon 10 or ethylon. And then there's another kind of a tape known as merceline tape. So in all we have 4 types of sutures: the mesh, which is the 5th category of product, and 2 types of tapes that Epicon manufactures. So it's important to note that there are significant differences in these sutures depending on what type of material the thread is made up of, and the diameter of the thread, and the type of needle, whether it's straight cut or it's rounded, and also on the diameter of the thread as well. Here on the pack it says 40 millimeters. There are several variations and there are significant differences among other brands. So I will be telling you what's the difference between various variants of the suture itself. Since I talked about the Prolene variety made by Epicon, I've placed here some sutures. Look at the numbers. This is 2. This is 1. So what's basically the difference between these 2 sutures? The difference lies in the width of the needle and in the width of the thread. And all these specifications are mentioned on the pack itself. 75 millimeters, this is the length of the thread. This is 75 centimeters, excuse me. And 40 millimeters is the length of the needle. If you compare these two, look that the thread is thicker in number 1 Prolene thread, and in the number 2 one it's thinner. So this suggests that as the number increases from 0 all the way up to probably 7 or 8, the thread becomes thinner and thinner. This thread is made up of polypropylene, so it depends what the surgeon wishes to use. So Prolene starts from number 0. It goes on from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or probably up to 8 also. But since these 2 varieties are the only one that I have at the pharmacy, I won't be able to show you the other varieties. Right, after Prolene, this is the second variety that Epicon makes. This is called Vicryl. It comes in 6 sizes starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, but I will only be able to show you 1, 2, 3 and 4. The length of the thread is mentioned on the pack: 70 centimeters, 70 centimeters, 70 centimeters and 90 centimeters. The length of the needle is 40 millimeters, 21 millimeters, 26 millimeters and 22 millimeters. So what basically is the difference between these 4 threads? I am about to share a tricky concept with you people. Look at the name of the needle. It says Vicryl Plus. Vicryl also comes in some other variants. This is Vicryl Plus. There is also a variant that is simply called Vicryl, and there's another one that's called Vicryl Rapid. Look at the suture. Here it says 40 millimeters, which is kind of the length of the needle. It's also available. In other sizes like 31 millimeters, 38 millimeters. But even most surgeons are not aware of this fact that so many different variants of the suture are available. Look at this little diagram that's drawn on the packet of the suture. This shows that the needle is round body cutting. This is often specified on the prescription. However, this needle is also available in other variants such as plain cutting, straight cutting, and curve cutting. So looking at all these 4 varieties of Vicryl plastic, one would question that what's the difference between 1, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. It's basically the length of the needle, the thickness of the needle, the thickness of the thread, and the length of the thread. Okay guys, this is the third variant made by Epicon, and let me remind you people that Epicon itself is a brand of Johnson & Johnson USA. Merce silk is a type of a suture that comes in 4 sizes, 5 actually, ranging from 0 and then moving on to 1, 2, 3 all the way up to 4. This is a non-boilable suture. It's braided, and the length of the thread is mentioned on the pack. That's 76 centimeters, and the needle is taper point, half circle, with a length of 31 millimeters, and it says taper point. So now the point is that what basically is the difference between these two sutures. And by the way, I'm only showing you size 0 and size 2. Again, the difference lies in the thickness of the needle, the length of the needle, the thickness of the thread, the length of the thread, and the needle here is curved. There are even some variants where the needle is straight. So again, the surgeon would specify what particular sort does he require, and that's what we provide him on the prescription. Okay, so far I've discussed Prolene, Vicryl, Merce silk. Now this is the 4th variant of the surgical suture. This is called Catgut. This is also non-boilable, and it follows the European pharmacopoeia plus the USP pharmacopoeia. This is actually a catgut suture, chromic catgut suture. It again differs in the thickness of the needle, the length of the needle, the length of the thread, the thickness of the thread, because these primarily are the only differences by which these different sutures vary from one another. Plus, the needles that I've been showing you are curved. There are some variants which are available in the form of a straight needle. So let the surgeon specify what dimensions of the needle as well as of the thread does he require, plus whether the needle he requires is curved or straight. Then we will be able to provide him with the correct suture. Suture, chromic catgut, comes in 4 sizes basically, because that's what I've seen in the pharmacy. Size 0, size 1 that I don't have right now, size 2 and size 3. So this is metric 4, metric 3.5 and metric 3. So chromic catgut by Epicon. Now moving on to the Prolene meshes, which Epicon makes for various procedures where the patient has developed some hernia. There are 4 sizes that are available: 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter, 15 centimeter by 15 centimeter, 6 centimeter by 11 centimeter, and there's another one that's 10.1 centimeters by 4.5 centimeters. Look at this pack. This contains only 1 packet, as is mentioned on the pack. There is another pack that contains 3 Prolene meshes. I have a pack of a Prolene mesh that measures 15 by 15. This pack contains 1 mesh only, and this is another pack that contains 3 meshes, and it's of the same size. So now I'm opening this pack just to show you how does it look like from the inside. 30 by 30 Prolene mesh, and it's pretty kind of soft and pretty palpable. And if you can see here, because with my naked eye I can see all I can see the entire mesh. It's like kind of net. or kind of a loofah sponge that you use in your bathroom. This is the mesh. Let me give you people an overview. Sutures are made by 4 companies: Epicon, Comfort, Demetec and B. Brown. I discussed Epicon first. There are 4 types of sutures: Prolene, which come in these various sizes from 0 to 8. Then I discussed Vicryl, that comes in 7 sizes. Mersilk, that comes in 5 sizes. Catgut, that comes in 5 sizes. And then I discussed the Prolene Mesh. And there are some other things also, and I'm not discussing them because they are not sutures actually, but I did mention the Prolene Mesh and I showed you also. Then we have the Mersilk tape and the nylon tape, also called Ethylon or Nylon 10. So this basically is everything that Epicon makes.